I've been back from Spain and Italy for about a month now, but packing my traveler's notebook is one of my favorite parts of getting ready for a trip, and pretty soon I'm heading on another trip. So I thought I'd take you along as I go through exactly how I prep my traveler's notebook and show you some of the supplies I bring, the portable printer I've tested, and some practical advice for actually keeping up with your journal while you're on the road. So let's get into it. I've been using traveler's notebooks for almost 20 years now, and I love using them for so many different things, but my favorite way to use them is definitely documenting my travels. Here's my watercolor insert and my junk journal that I made for our Paris retreat last April. All right, here I am going to go ahead and start putting together my traveler's notebook. This is the leather journal, the traveler's notebook that I have handmade in Bellagio, Italy with my friends at QDP. And that's actually one of the new journals. This is a weekly planner. I absolutely love this. And I will leave the shop from Etsy in the description below. That I've used those weekly planners for years. This is a dot grid. I like to have that along with me just to have some paper to write notes in. And this is my favorite insert. It is watercolor paper. Sometimes I use mixed media paper, which isn't quite as thick, but if I know I'm going to use watercolor or gouache, this is a great insert. They're from the same company that makes the weekly planner. And then I have this fun little thing. So it's an additional insert. They come in canvas or plastic, and plastic is nice if you're going to put art supplies in that zippered area, which I will share with you later. And then, oh my goodness, I have really gotten into onion skin paper this year. I don't know why. I used it so many years ago, and now I have found that they have these inserts in the Cahir size, which I will explain later, but I added that with me, I added that to my insert and took it with me to Spain and absolutely loved playing around with that. So here's just, I think, with 4 inserts in there. There's plenty of space because my journals are wider than the average ones. And then this was just a fun tip. I may have shared this before, but if you're going to bring some washi tape, I bring a popsicle stick with some of my favorite washi tape. Here is another great tip that I have found so useful over the years. I just have a simple sketchbook, and in it are all of my art supplies. All the gouache, colored pencils, oil pastels, anything that has a color, a medium that you can put down on paper. And so what I do is I catalog everything that I have, and it has been so helpful. I take a picture of each page and it's on my phone, so when I am traveling and I go into an art supply store, because I love to do that on my travels, that way I have a record of everything I have and I don't double up on them, and it's been so helpful to use that over the years. It's always fun to start your travel journal even before you get on the airplane, but as you leave, just write down some of the things that you know you're going to be doing on the trip in that weekly planner. And while you're on the trip, if you don't actually have time to do that, one of my tips is to write notes in your phone. In your phone notes, this is a day, for instance, where we did all these things, but there were things that happened, like running to get my phone out of a taxi because I forgot it. And I wanted to write those in my phone so that when I went and had time to get into my travel journal, I would have those memories written down, because a lot of times we forget all the little details of our trips. Here's that watercolor insert, and you can see some of my quick sketches. And one day I was by the pool and decided to sketch that church right over there as well. Now on to portable printers. You may have seen my video from last week all about portable printers. I compared 7 different portable printers, and it was a big hit with you guys. A lot of you liked that video, and I shared all of my favorites. I had 3 top favorites actually, and this is kind of one of them. I actually prefer the the 2 by 3 inch one, but this square one is the one that I took to Spain and Italy, and it was really fun. I just like a little bit smaller photo for my traveler's notebooks, but this one worked as well, and it was so fun to bring that with me. We've been using these portable printers at our retreats for many, many years, and I love kind of checking out which ones are new and which ones work better, and the print quality is really good. So here I am. I'm kind of having fun one night in a hotel in Spain, doing the travel journal, adding some washi tape stickers and adding some postcards and ephemera from the trip. And this is that plastic sleeve. Sometimes I use it for art supplies and sometimes I use it for all of my ephemera, because I do bring a lot of ephemera with me, and I do collect ephemera all along the trip. Here you can see a couple more pages that I did in my travel journal while I was in Spain, and it's just fun to create in a travel journal and add your memories, add some paint and some sketches and all kinds of fun stuff. Now here I was on a train, and it's just such a great time when you're in an airport or a train. If you can work on your travel journal, I think that that's a great time when maybe the people with you, as you can see, are reading a book, and if it's not too shaky on the train or a bus or in the airport, you can work on adding things to your travel journal. Sometimes it's admittedly too shaky to work on it, as you can see in this video. I was trying to write while I was on, I think it was a train, and here I am trying to write, but it's a little messy. Here I'm painting in the onion skin insert, and this is on a plane, so it wasn't quite as shaky. This is a scene from Villa Balbianello that we always take the ladies to at our retreats, and I had already done it in one of the other watercolor inserts, but I wanted to do it in this onion skin in this brown color, and I absolutely loved how it turned out. Okay, here I am back home, and I am going through some of the other printers. So this is that Kodak Mini 2 instead of the Mini 3. This is the one that prints out the 2 by 3 sizes. So when I did get home, I wanted to print more photos out in this size. So I'm going through and showing you how to go about doing that. These little portable printers have come so far in the quality and the ease of use. Now, I have several different ones, as I showed you in the last video, but I've also heard of new ones that you guys have suggested. So I'm going to look into a couple of those and see how they stack up to the ones that I already have. Again, here I am back home, and I have already been home from Spain and Italy for a month, but I love going back over my travel journals and finishing them, because it is something that doesn't always get finished on the trip. You're on the trip and you're having fun, and you don't always have time to be spending hours in your travel journal. So I want to give you some tips on how to pull it all together at the end when you're back home. Tip number 1 would be try to do it as soon as possible when you get home, if you have the time in the first month, while it's still fresh in your mind, because our memories really fade, especially at my age. So the conversations or the little details that kind of blur together after a few weeks are still fresh in your mind. Even if just 20 minutes a day you have to fill in those gaps within the first month, it makes a huge difference. Tip number 2 would be to use your photos as a reference or as a memory trigger, especially if you're sketching. So in this sketchbook, you can see that not everything got done, but I always recommend to the ladies that come to my retreats to take plenty of photos of these places, because if you want to come back and finish them, you have reference photos on your phone that you can look at that really help you to get the perspective or the colors or the feeling of each shot that you took and that you want to document in your journal. Tip number 3 is don't aim for perfection. Just enjoy the process of getting your travel journal done. People stall out trying to recreate every detail or trying to keep it chronological, but I really love taking time to go over my photos, adding little details, or finishing sketches in my journal. It's like you get to relive the trip all over again. So give yourself permission to have fun journaling or painting in fragments of the trip and bringing it all back to life in your traveler's notebook. By the way, this is my onion skin insert, and I absolutely loved playing with this one on my trip. The paper, as you can see, is see-through, so you can see the layers of each page on top of each other, yet the onion skin paper holds wet medium so well, and it does not bleed through. So I will definitely be finishing this onion skin insert and sharing it with you guys later. I'm also going to be using this kind of insert for our October retreat in New England, and I really can't wait to share ways to create in this kind of journal. Now, if you've been to one of my retreats or you've watched me long enough, you know that I am a big fan of ephemera. And so this is just a fun little clip of all of the little pieces of ticket stubs and postcards and all different of ephemera that I got on our trip to Italy and Spain this summer and will be using to finish out my travel journal. All right, here I am speeding up the video so that you can see me creating 2 pages in my travel journal after I got home. This one is of the town of Sevilla, which I absolutely loved. I think it was probably my favorite city in Spain that we went to. And I'm just adding a little olive branch detail on this page, and then going in with a pencil to add some of the detail at the Real Alcazar in Sevilla. Here are my brand new traveler's notebooks that I just got home from Italy with, and I am so pleased with the outcome. These are the new sizes of my traveler's notebooks. This is the original size, just wider and a different inside. That flap and some of those pockets on the right side, those are new designs for these traveler's notebooks. There's lots of pockets, lots of fun little inserts that you can put in there, like little photos or business cards. And then I also make them with 4 elastic bands so that you can have more inserts in them. And then these are the 2 colors for the A5 size, which I was super excited about because it can now hold A5 journals, bigger sketchbooks, and this is actually the one that I'm going to be using in my travel journaling on my next trip. I love these colors. It's kind of like a beige or raw leather color. And again, this is an A5 size, so that's the 2 colors that come in the A5 size, and there's 4 colors that come in the original one that is a wide format. Both of these can hold standard size. They can also both hold Kahir size, which is a little bit bigger. It's the same size as a Moleskine journal. And then the largest ones can hold the A5 size as well. So it really gives you more freedom to use different kinds of inserts or journals inside of these traveler's notebooks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below and I will answer them as soon as I can. And if this is the kind of content that you'd like to see, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to learn more about my traveler's notebooks, you can check them out in my shop website. I'll have some of the descriptions down below. Next week's video will be more on travel journaling and some of the fun things that you can add to your pages to make them extra special. Have a great day, everyone.